Good evening. Welcome to the Zohar class. This week parasha is Parashat Tzav in the meaning of commandment. And also this Shabbat is Shabbat Gadol. Every year before Pesach, the name of the Shabbat is Shabbat Gadol. In Hebrew, Gadol means big, but in Kabbalistic language means maturity. So the name of the portion is Tzav, commandment, and Shabbat Gadol means the Shabbat of maturity. And every year it's fall before Passover. So the lesson is that, we're going to start a new chapter in our life. We're going to start a new year. We're going to start a new stage, new level of our life. If we stay the same way as before, there is no way we're gonna have a better year. Nilu, can you please keep it quiet? I'm sorry. So if we continue the same mentality, the same consciousness, the same lifestyle, the same character, the same complaint, there is no way you're gonna have a better year. We always wish each other have a better year, have a successful year, blessing, baracha, marriage, parnasa. But the only way to achieve it is by becoming mature. If I was complaining last year about certain things, enough. That complaint is not going to benefit me. It's going to damage my next year also. So the lesson is teaching us become mature. Stop being that little child that cry and complain about everything. And whatever made me angry, whatever made me, lose my focus, whatever made me judge. So we have to promise ourselves, I become mature. And why we have to do this before Pesach? We had an amazing class last year. Pesach, there is this amazing light coming from Ein Sof to earth, to everybody. Once a year, the gate of heaven opens up, and this amazing light, Shefa, the blessing of Hashem, come and shine on us. I want to remind you that Passover fall on a full moon. It's not an accident, it's a full moon, because that light from the Ein Sof is going to reach us through the full moon. And they call it Or Pashut, Or of Shefa. All the blessing, all the beracha we need for next year coming to us on the night of Passover. So imagine I'm wearing the same old dairy clothing of last year. I'm going to bring with me to the table all my bad habits, all my anger and hate and judging and controlling and proud. So we are not going to receive that light. This light is going to go to the vessel that has similarity to it. That's why, on the Erev Pesach, we dress up nice, we clean, but we also have to cleanse our consciousness. So the word maturity is an amazing concept. We wanna sit around the table as an adult, as a mature person. Not everything gonna make me judge. Not everything gonna get me angry. And of course, we learned last week there is only two positive forces in this world that align with the light from the Ein Sof: love and simcha, and happiness, ahava and simcha. So we have to promise of ourselves always before Passover. The Judaism is amazing, always preparing us for the next event. So Shabbat and maturity prepare us. Be mature, life is good, be happy, be full of love, be full of giving and sharing, celebrate this holiday. And that's how you're going to receive the light of Ein Sof. we're gonna go deeper into how we can cleanse ourselves tonight and be ready for Passover. But before we go deeper into our uh, understanding, I want to talk about commandment. Why the name of this parasha is commandment? The Zohar, Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, I don't know if you have time to read it tonight, on book number 14, page 289, section 15. He explained to us that commandment is idol worshiping. Commandment is avodah zarah. Just if somebody give you a command and you do it without asking a question, that's idol worshiping. That's avodah zarah. We know some negative countries, the leader give them a commandment, right? To the people, go blow yourself up, and people do it. That's avodah zarah. That's idol worshiping. There is no godliness in it. So even the Torah, even we have the 10 Commandments, we are not supposed to follow it without understanding it. Whoever follow the commandment without understanding it, that's avodah zarah. So if we follow after the Passover rules and regulation without understanding it, the Zohar says avodah zarah is idol worshiping. We have to understand what are we doing. So Passover is not a tradition. It's not I have to do it. It's not a punishment. It's a gift. We have to understand it's a gift from the upper world, from Olama Ein Sof. You're receiving this light that's going to protect us and guide us, protect us and guide us for the next year. So when such a awesome energy, something beyond our understanding is available, we want to prepare ourselves to it. So it's not a commandment, it's not a must, it's not like if you don't do it, something bad's going to happen to you. It's a gift for you to improve your life to better, to have a safe journey next year, protection and guidance. So protection that we're going to be safe, and at the same time guidance that Hashem, this light going to guide us to the right places. So in order to understand what are we doing, we have to be clean and pure and cleansed, and in order to receive this awesome light. Many years we spoke about cleansing and cleaning and purifying our mind and conscious. Tonight we're going to take it a little bit deeper. We carry a lot of stress and a lot of trauma in our subconscious. I repeat, we carry a lot of stress and trauma in our subconscious. We are not even aware of it, but through our life, we like broom it, down the carpet. We broom the stress and the trauma in our subconscious. We live our life, maybe we are happy, maybe we are full of love, but we still carry this baggage in our subconscious, full of stress, full of trauma. And we want to learn, how we can diffuse, how we can cleanse the subconscious. There are Kabbalists that, through meditation, through hypnosis, through other techniques, they find out that people remember what happened while they were in their mother womb during the 9-month pregnancy. So imagine how much trauma and how much stress we can carry in our lifetime. Not only from our lifetime, even when we were in our mother's womb. So we need to break free from all this trauma and all this stress in order to be pure. So the Kabbalists explain to us that we are the production of our, obviously, our parents' marriage, right? Engagement, marriage, and they decided to have a child, and you know, they had the yichud, and our mother got pregnant, and we were born. It sounds simple, but it's much more complicated than that. Whatever our parents did, whatever consciousness, mind, whatever the practice they had, it's affected that child, that embryo. It affected that fetus. So we living, whatever we carry in our subconscious, obviously was affected from our parents' practice. There was a time, we learned in the past few years that three things affect us. One is our parents. The other one is our sign, right? The astrological sign, and then the country we were born. This is the three forces that affect who we are. Now we're going to take it deeper as far as who our parents are. So the Kabbalistic, they explain to us there are 5 stages. There are 5 stages that affect who the child is. Number one is 1 year before the yichud, the intercourse. The second one is during the intercourse. The third point is the 9 months of pregnancy. The fourth point is at the birth time, and the fifth one is when the child stop breastfeeding, gmila in Hebrew. So there is 5 stages of, we become who we are, that totally affects who we are. So number one, we are adults. So who cares, or how does it matter what our parents went through? So actually, it's very important. It's very important because we had another beautiful class many years ago. We said the Satan, the negative force, hide itself in places so we cannot expose him. The moment we expose the root of an issue, of a stress, or of a trauma, the Satan is going to leave. You cannot stay there. Give a simple example. Let's say we know somebody stole something from us. The moment we expose him, we tell him, hey, I know you stole from me. That's it. That person is not going to be able to harm us anymore. He's going to leave us, right? So the moment you expose a negative force, the moment you expose a negative person, that force and that person have to leave. They cannot stay with us anymore. So by exposing a hidden negative force, we're going to release it, and we're going to be free from that negative force. So maybe during our parents' pregnancy, there were some negative forces. Now we are aware of it. We know that something might happen, so that negative force have to leave us. It's not going to continue bothering us and continue the journey with us. Is that clear and is that understandable? So the goal is to expose what happened, during when the parents produced us. The moment we expose it, the negative force is exposed and it have to leave. And the second point what we are learning is to teach our children. This is such a good technology, to produce this awesome child. Did you ever ask yourself why Orthodox people children are so nice and they follow the parents and they're so quiet and somehow they follow certain rules, and we didn't because of commandment, because we thought, oh, this is a stupid commandment, we are not going to follow it. We are smart, and we never ask why. We never try to investigate. We never try to study Torah. So the Orthodox people, by studying this lesson, by studying the Torah, they know how to produce a good product, how to produce a good child. We simply didn't know, and our parents didn't know, but now we are learning to teach our children and grandchildren, and also by exposing whatever happened, during our production, then, the negative force have to leave. So the first point, he says 1 year before intercourse, So the parents have to be in a holy state. Remember last class we said the sperm, the zera, starts from the father consciousness. You remember? And whatever was in the father's mind go to that drop of sperm. Then it traveled through 18 bones of the spine. It's collect energies from all the body parts of the father. If he has a stone heart, God forbidden, he's going to pick it. If he's going to have a loving heart, he's going to pick it. Makes sense, right? So everything, what the hands do, what the arms do, where the locations the father go. So whatever the father do in the past year, it's affect that product. Also, we said the mother is like a light that you divided by 2. And that's how the mother affect the child. If the light is white, Baruch Hashem, another white child is going to born. If the light is not so white, then the child is going to be the same way. So number one is 1 year before production of such an awesome blessing in our life. You have to be in the holy stage. You have to be pure, positive, not toxicated in mind, not toxicated in heart. You're going to produce the most important things in your life. So, you need to prepare your body. That child is the produce of the consciousness and behavior and the character of 1 year of the parents. So now by exposing it, so we know obviously our parents in a third world country, they went through a lot of stress and trauma, right? So we understand it now. We're exposing it right now. We understand that our parents go through some trauma. We're going to stop blaming the country. We're going to stop blaming, chas v'shalom, the parents. We're going to stop blaming the circumstances because they didn't know. And now we know. So we expose the problem. So that negative force we carry from that 1 year our parents went through is exposed and have to leave us. The second point is, we said, is the intercourse, the moment of the yichud. Number one, the timing. The Zohar explained to us, there's a beautiful section. I always was shy about talking about it, but when I come across it, I'm going to tell you what section of the Zohar it is. The Zohar explained to produce the best possible child, to draw the best possible soul, is Friday night after midnight. Why? Because this is when Shabbat is, and in Shabbat we are in an elevated olam. We are not in olam malchut anymore. We are in olam atzilut, in a higher olam. So do you want, I'm going to make it funny. Do you want a soul from downtown or you want a soul from Beverly Hills? So the Beverly Hills is Friday night after midnight. You pull the best possible neshama. And of course, the consciousness of the parents. Chas v'shalom, if the father thinks about a different woman, if the woman thinks about a different man, if they're worried about house payment, why Shabbat? Because Shabbat, we don't talk politics, right? We don't talk business. We don't watch TV. We don't watch the news. We are not, doing business. So we're in such a pure, the body and the mind is such a pure level. And so that's the best time. And obviously during the Tisha B'Av is the worst time. I don't have even to say that. So Friday, any Shabbat, Friday after midnight, with the consciousness of full of love and a desire that, this is my wife, this is my husband, and we want to produce the best child, and we don't care about no other force in the world. Number 3 is the 9 months of pregnancy. Again, not only the 1 year they have to be through the holy level, even during the 9 months. By the way, by exposing the intercourse time, so we are releasing any stress, any trauma that our parents went through, so it's exposed now. That negative force that they went through or they had in their mind cannot harm us anymore because it's exposed. Number 3 is the 9 months. Like I said, the Kabbalists through trance, they find out people talking about being in their mother's womb during the 9 months. And they heard the parents and they know what the parents went through. Those people through the trance, they describe what they heard, from their parents. This is a living thing. This has a neshama. Maybe the body is not developed, but the neshama hears what the parent says. Chas v'shalom, if they're fighting or if they're worried, if they have anxiety, politics, earthquake, whatever, that's affect the child. So these 9 months also, they have to be in this holy stage. Simcha and ahava, the more love they give to each other, the more simcha they have. We all know that during pregnancy, if a mother listens to music, the child gonna come out all dancing. So by exposing, this force, so that negative force that our parents went through during the 9 months, we're gonna release it. So we're gonna be free from that stress and trauma. The next one is the birth. The biggest trauma that a child go through is the moment of birth. So again, if the mother and father go through anxiety, stress, if they're worried, if there is complications that's affect the child have to be born in a very harmony atmosphere. And the most important part of birth is that the first thing that the mother and child do is to hug each other. There is stories about mother being sick and the mother not feeling good, so they take the child to a different room, and that child through the whole life gonna have a separation anxiety. They have a hard time to connect to another person, to love each other, to love somebody else. So they call it, there is a nice word in Hebrew. There's a good example. They said when a duckling born, and you show him a ball, he's going to think the ball is his mother for the rest of his life. So it's very important for a mother and child to hug each other, embrace each other right after birth. And everywhere they practice this. So the child have to be born in a harmony and hold the mother. So again, by exposing this fact, we are releasing any negative forces, any stress and trauma that we went through during our birth. God knows, what was happening over there, but now we expose the situation, so the negative force cannot hide there anymore. The last one is Gmila, is stop breastfeeding. The Kabbalists explain that all the addiction, drugs, alcohol, addiction to, I don't know, you're super freak, you want to be clean, addiction to work, addiction to whatever, any kind of addiction comes from how the mother and child stop breastfeeding. The right way to breastfeed is do it little by little, little by little. First you give them some other product, some water, some sugar water. I don't know, I'm not a nurse, but you start giving them the other kind of the milk, but you cannot stop it right on the dot. That's bring addiction, because you're taking away The only thing this child has, the only pleasure, the only happiness, the only goodness, through the breastfeeding, the child gets everything. The neshama, the neshama receive everything it needs from breastfeeding. So by stopping it right away, that's create addiction. You're taking away the best thing this child has in the world. The child doesn't have a Mercedes, he doesn't have a house, he doesn't have a Rolex. The only thing it has is his mother milk. You take it away from me, so it creates addiction because it's keep craving it, it's keep looking for it for the rest of his life or her life. So it have to be done in stages. So again, by exposing this, we releasing any negative force that attached to us by our parents not knowing, the right way to do it. And also, it's very important to teach our children and grandchildren, to produce the best neshama, to produce the best child. I thank you for listening to the class. I know it was a short class. I love you guys. Happy Passover. And I know you have questions. Bezrat Hashem, we're going to talk about it soon. Wish you guys Shabbat Shalom and Chag Pesach Kasher V'Sameach. Thank you. Love you. Bye.